Here I've got the êADG book that shows the 4T65E power flow chart. And you can see all the different clutches and bands, sprags that are applied in all the gears. Here we've got the solenoid chart, which solenoids are applied in which gears as well. It's handy. And then over on the right we've got the temperature sensor and more details on the different temperatures and how much resistance each solenoid will have. A little bit hard to see from the diagram, but it shows the location of the solenoids and the sensors. Down here we've got the different sensors, what it controls, and the components. So I can't zoom in and get the whole thing in the screen for you. You'll just have to Google it, find it online, or buy the êADG book. But it shows the different locations. Most of them are located over here in the side cover. The external sensors are obviously on the outside of the transmission. It's a little bit tricky to do, but you can test all the solenoids and the sensors externally via the plug. This is the connector looking into the connector, and here's the one looking into the harness. That one runs back to the computer. So all the corresponding letters there, you can see A and E is a 1-2 shift. So if we go back to the case connector, you can see A and E will be the 1-2 shift. B and E is the 2-3 shift solenoid. B and E, and so on. Here's another diagram, probably a handier diagram than that previous one. It just shows all the pins and which letter corresponds to which solenoids. And a diagram showing the solenoids and their location again. You can see the electronic pressure control solenoid over here, the 1-2 shift solenoid, the input speed sensor, the output speed sensor will be over on the external part of the transmission, and so on. So you can just see where the location. These pressure switches here, they do get contaminated with fine metal and can cause a bit of trouble as well. So there is a bit of fiddling to get to these solenoids, but worth it. Worth having a look at if you can, and if you've got trouble. Now this just shows the difference in the speed sensors. You can see the little pin on there on the GM vehicles, and compared to the Volvo one, which is what we've got here. Now it's worth cleaning up, taking these speed sensors out and just cleaning it, because you will get very fine metal building up on the speed sensor, and it can affect the readings that are going to the computer. There's a little magnet in there, so it will over time collect fine metal in there.